In this tutorial, you learn about the basic Python syntax so that you can get started with the Python language quickly. First is whitespace and indentation. If you have been working in other programming languages such as Java, C#, or C, C++, you know that these languages use semicolons to separate the statements. However, Python uses whitespace and indentation to construct the code structure. The following shows a snippet of Python code. The meaning of the code isn't important to you now. Please pay attention to the code structure instead. At the end of each line, you don't see any semicolon to terminate the statement. And the code uses indentation to format the code. By using indentation and whitespace to organize the code, Python code gains the following advantage. First, you'll never miss the beginning or ending of the code like in other languages such as Java or C++. Second, the coding style is essentially uniform. If you have to maintain another developer's code, that code looks the same as yours. Third, the code is more readable and clear in comparison with other programming languages. Comments. The comments are as important as the code because they describe why a piece of code was written. When the Python interpreter executes the code, it ignores the comments. In Python, a single line comment begins with a hash symbol followed by comment. Python block comments. A block comment explains the code that follows it. Typically, you indent a code comment at the same level as the code block. To create a block comment, you start with a single hash symbol followed by a single space and a text string. For example, Python inline comments. When you place a comment on the same line as the statement, you'll have an inline comment similar to a block comment. An inline comment begins with a single hash symbol and is followed by a space and a text string. The following example shows an inline comment. Python docstrings. A documentation string is a string literal that you put as the first lines in a code block. For example, a function. Unlike a regular comment, a documentation string can be accessed at runtime using object.doc attribute, where obj is the name of the function. Typically, you use a documentation string to automatically generate the code documentation. Technically speaking, docstrings are not the comments. They create anonymous variables that refers the strings. Also, they are not ignored by the Python interpreter. Python provides two kinds of docstrings, one-line docstrings and multi-line docstrings. Number 1. One-line docstrings. As its name implies, a one-line docstring begins with triple quotes and also ends with triple quotes. There won't be any blank line either before or after the one-line string. The following code shows the example of docstring. Multi-line docstring. Unlike a one-line docstring, a multi-line docstring can span multiple lines. A multi-line docstring starts with triple quotes and ends with triple quotes. Here is the example. Python multi-line comments. Python doesn't support multi-line comments. However, you can use multi-line docstring as multi-line comments. It is a good practice to keep your comment clean, concise, and explanatory. The ultimate goal is to save time and energy for you and others developers who will work on the code later. Continuation of statement. Python uses a new line character to separate statements. It places each statement on one line. However, a long statement can span multiple lines by using the backslash character. Here is the example. As you can see, there is an if condition where we are comparing A whether it is true or not, and then B whether it is true or not, and then C. And here for a C variable we are using a backslash character. Identifiers. Identifiers are names that identifies variables, functions, modules, classes, and other objects in Python. The name of an identifier needs to begin with a letter or underscore. The following character can be alphabetic or underscore. Python identifiers are case sensitive. For example, the counter where C is small and a counter where C is capital are different identifiers. In addition, you cannot use Python keywords for naming identifiers. Keywords. Some words has special meaning in Python. They are called keywords. Python is a growing and evolving language, so its keywords will keep increasing and changing. Python provides a special module for listing its keywords called keyword. To find the current keyword list, you can use the following code. String literals. Python uses single quotes, double quotes, triple single quotes, and triple double quotes to denote a string literal. The string literal need to be surrounded with the same types of quote. For example, if you use a single quote to be start a string literal, you need to use the same single quote to end it. Here is the example.